My name's Don.
And I'm Peter.
And we are two plebs talking about... California.
This week in the DPRC.
And I think we got some kind of average California news to open with today.
We do?
Yeah. Dear the vast majority of California, your taxes are going up.
That's not news.
Well, not really. Unto itself, the idea that California is raising taxes is pretty average California news, right?
Right.
But seemingly, and in the thing that I try very often not to do around here, but it is what got this story on the show, it's not the state of California raising taxes, which everyone expects. It's the municipalities, right? The particular cities.
Right.
And apparently, this just isn't common knowledge that it's a thing.
No.
And so...
No, it's not, because I'll tell you what, when you said this was a thing, I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, exactly, right?
So, yes, I did not know.
And so, I've talked quite a bit about what sales tax is in California, and I generally say it's in the vicinity of 8%. Now, a lot of the reason I say that is because California's state sales tax is, as far as I can tell, still 7.5%.
Right.
But every city, county, everything in the whole state has its own small amount of sales tax they tack onto it. So the vast majority of sales tax in California is in the vicinity of 8%.
Right.
Well, 51 cities decided that that additional sales tax was too low. 51.
They needed more.
Right. And they are raising taxes anywhere between 1/4% and a whole percent.
Yes.
Which doesn't seem like a lot until you realize that some of these were already sitting on 9% sales, or 9.5-ish sales tax to you, the customer, by the time that you actually got done purchasing something, and they're going up to like 10.5.
Yes.
Now, don't get me wrong, that's only like 5, 10 cities, something like that. However, understand that the tax rate for shock of shocks, Los Angeles,
right,
is going to be, I believe, 10.5%.
Yes.
Now, there's a couple of smaller cities where these things aren't quite so high, but the reality of the situation is, when I say California taxes everything at every level, I wasn't kidding, right? So, you have, or you can have, various county taxes. I'm not exactly sure where they fall in the sales tax thing, but I believe that they can as well. And so, you get the state going 7.5, you can have your county potentially say, we're going to add some percent of sales tax to that, and then you get your city going, yeah, even more, right? And so,
right.
And certainly the county is also good at other taxes, but here's the simple reality. We are above a 10% sales tax rate in at least 10 cities.
Right.
And this, by the way, this list only goes over those that have raised their taxes recently above 10.
Right.
And so when you talk to people in other states, they're like, well, sales tax isn't that big of a deal. It's like 5%. And I'm like, yeah, but it's like double that.
Right.
So, maybe it's just me, but California's looking to take your money. That's what they're there for.
We seem to say that a lot.
Shocking.
And when you look at the numbers, it's kind of proving to be true, but I'm pretty sure people would disagree with us.
Well, they could disagree with me all they want, but when we talk about the effective tax rate in the U.S., you hear a lot of people saying it's like 40%, or somewhere near 40%. And yeah, it depends on where you are, but yeah, if you're in California, it's much closer to 55.
Yeah.
Because California goes after everything. They take boatloads of money from everyone. And this is why everyone gets mad when the rest of the country isn't subsidizing California anymore. This is why, teary-eyed Philly D was over there with his, it felt like Californians were paying the most for this. No, Californians are finally just paying for all of the stupid taxes they approve of.
Right.
And these are going to be more of them. So, by the way, I hope you enjoy that. And I know. Oh, Don, but it's not on food. It's on some food. Anything prepared in advance, right?
Right.
Welcome to it. They get you with just about everything. You can buy a tomato without it being taxed. That's about it. Slice that tomato, it's taxed.
Yep.
I mean, seriously. That's how ridiculous we are here. And yet again, we're just going to keep pushing it. Because, by the way, while I sit on the biggest one, the most ridiculous, the smallest of these is pushing 8% now in this list.
Yeah.
I think the smallest one I saw is something like 7.95% after this tax raise.
Okay.
So 8% basically everywhere, right?
Right.
And at this point, I will have to revise my estimation of average sales tax here to about 9%.
Gotcha.
Simply because this year we went, you know what we're doing? We're not taking enough money from people.
Right, yeah, because a lot of cities are now in the 10% range. That would bring the average up.
Mm-hmm. Furthermore, those that were previously sitting just below 8, on a majority basis, are now somewhere in the mid-8s. Right?
Yeah.
And so you get a lot of ridiculous nonsense, I guess. Well, taxes aren't that high. Move to not California for 5 minutes. And don't even move. Just, well, all right, don't move because the rest of the country hates you. But go visit somewhere not California. The sales tax rate is half what it is here. There's plenty of places. There's no income tax. There's no property tax, where the property tax is much lower. I mean, don't get me wrong. Every governmental body gets their money somehow.
Gas is usually at minimum $1 a gallon cheaper.
Right. Because the gas tax is an order of magnitude lower than what it is here.
Right.
So, congratulations, California. You've decided all of these great projects are such a great idea that we're all so focused on, right? At any cost. Well, how's that at any cost going? I mean,
not so good as I understand it.
And so here we are. Everyone just lost probably about 0.75% of their income, but they got it taken at a place where they don't see it that way.
Right.
Because, well, but my check didn't change.
No. How much you output from your check has changed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how far your dollar can go has changed.
Exactly. You
have the same number of dollars.
They just buy less stuff.
Yep.
So congratulations. You want to buy a new car? Maybe not a good idea, right? Don't get me wrong. The taxes on your $30,000 car were previously going to be something like $2,800, $2,400, somewhere in that vicinity. Depends on where you were. But if you're in Los Angeles, that is now $3,100.
Ish.
So congratulations. I'm sure you didn't need that. What is that? Anywhere between $300 and $700. Depends again where you are and what you're buying.
Right.
But it's not that big of a deal, right? Like when you go buy a stick of gum, it's 4 more cents. Or it's 4 cents tax.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, the stick of gum costs $0.25. I mean, so okay.
I mean, look at it how you want. You're paying more.
Exactly. And by the way, are we getting more? Is there a brand new set of plans that says, well, California will now do all of these new things, or these cities will do all of these new things with this new tax money?
No.
And there it is, right?
There's no, we're raising the taxes so that we can do any specific project. It's just that, well, there's more people, and we don't have enough money to cover everything, so we need more.
Well, so it should be a percentage tax, right? I mean, that's what it is. It's a sales tax. 7% of all the non-food stuff that gets bought.
Right.
So if there's more people, presumably you're getting more taxes.
You would think.
And yet somehow
we're not getting enough more taxes, so they need to put more taxes on?
You got it. Welcome to California.
Or maybe it's all to pay for the rail that's not going anywhere.
Well, it's cities doing it this time, not the states, so
I don't know.
Who knows?
Can't tell you. Or it could be due to the ever-increasing homeless issue.
So I'm sure some of it's going to that, right?
Right, because back to, we already have 25% of the country's homeless just in California, and the numbers keep increasing because reasons.
Yeah, definitely not that we're incentivizing them to come here.
No,
definitely not that.
I wasn't going to go there. That's tangenting.
Well, that's what I'm here for. Tangent just a little. But anyhow, so yeah, sure, some quantities go into that, but generally sales taxes dump into a general fund.
Mm-hmm.
So you can do whatever with them. So maybe that's the campaign we get, but is that where the money's going to go?
We have no clue.
And we don't. And this, for anyone who's not intimately familiar with California money, is a huge problem in this state.
Right.
Because we get sold all of these ideas about how we're going to fix all the things, and so because of that, we're going to need to implement this one new little tax. It's not going to be that big of a deal, and that's going to pay for, I mean, pick your pet project. We'll never need to give schools money again. This will fix all of the roads that ever were. This will cure AIDS. I mean, we just pick up a thing and go, well, we're going to solve this problem, but we need to implement this tax. By the way, the tax needs to go to the general fund, right? And then somehow or another, the problem never gets solved. 10 years later, we get a new tax on the exact same thing under the exact same reasoning.
Right.
And about half of us that are old enough go, where'd the money go last time?
Obviously not to the project in question. It really comes right down to, we need to take some more of your money, but utopia is just around the corner.
Utopia is just one tax away. Forever. And to kind of extrapolate on how much we think this is the case, to really get deep down in the weeds of how ridiculously stupid we are about this, it's not just taxes we do this with.
No.
In 2012-ish, I want to say, all of the states basically sued all of the big banks and got massive settlements.
Right.
For predatory lending practices and mistreating your customers and something fraud.
Right.
Because of the 2008 crash. Well, that's when the settlements started to roll in, is 2012.
So the states went and sued the banks for doing what the Fed told them to do.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And got big giant settlements. Right?
Yep.
And so in California's case, I believe that was $331 million.
That's a lot of money.
Isn't it? And so we said, you know, well, clearly we can't trust you, big banks, to take care of this, because otherwise we would just have you pay directly to the people. But we know you won't do that. So we, as your California overlords, dear Californians, will sue on your behalf and ensure that you are taken care of.
How'd that go?
Well, I'd like to check the date.
All those homeowners got their homes back?
It's 2019, which means it's been 7 years-ish since these settlements came through, right? At least since California in particular got theirs. As of, I believe, Tuesday this week, a Superior Court judge from the state of California told California, you know you actually have to pay back the homeowners, right? Because California's answer was, no, we don't.
No, we wanted money.
So, what Brown did was go, well, $330 million is a lot of money. Why don't we, we got all these state bonds, right?
Right.
Because we keep running all these programs and running up all this debt, so why don't we just take that and pay the bonds with it?
Oh.
And that's what happened. $331 million because all these poor victimized homeowners buy the big mean banks. My name's California, give me your money, we're going to throw that at whatever we want, because lawsuit, general fund.
Right.
And so, in a shocking turn of events, a judge went, you don't get to sue on behalf of someone else and then not give someone else the money.
Right.
To which California went, yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do.
And by the way, this isn't the first time that this has been heard. I think this is the second appeal in which they have gone, no, but we really do get to do that.
Yeah, and it's our money. We received the money. It's our money. We do with it what we want.
Exactly. Because they're going to protect you unless they have a credit card bill to pay.
Right. Because when it comes right down to it, they're like, no, we sued in his name, meaning we got the money. It's our money. We do with it what he wants, what we want. But since the suit has already gone through the courts, been handled, he can't sue for the money himself now.
You got it, right?
We've guaranteed that we got his money.
Exactly. And lots of his money, because we sued on behalf of lots of hims.
Yeah.
And so, again, $331 million. A third of $1 billion. And they went, yeah, I'm sure the homeowners don't actually need that. I mean, I know we said we were suing because the homeowners need that, but they probably don't.
It's been so long, they've recovered by now.
Right. Well, so they were talking about, or they got this settlement 3 years after the big crash, right?
Right.
Or the end of the big crash, for certain. I'm sure everyone who was getting their houses foreclosed on didn't need that money.
No.
right? I mean, presuming that you agree with the premise of the suit, and I don't, but presuming that you do, well, we're going to go fight for the little guy. Screw you, little guy.
Well, now see, we fought for you, so we get the reward.
Exactly. Right? And so when people talk about lawyers' fees and class action lawsuits and stuff, and how people get a nickel, I'm like, well, at least they got a nickel.
Yeah.
Don't let California do it for you. You'll get nothing.
Except the new tax.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you'll get.
And so what came out of this is a bunch of people then sued the state of California and went, dude,
you can't do that.
And so California keeps losing, right?
Well,
because
I imagine.
In a shocking turn of events, judges go, but you have an order to give that to them. So do it. And California goes, no. Money's fungible.
We've already spent it.
Right. Well, so that's been another argument, because they did already spend it. They just went, well, that's a lot of money, into the bonds.
Right.
So
we already spent it. It's gone.
right. Now, by the way, this is exactly what Avenatti is going to jail for right now, right? This is exactly what he's charged with. Having not given a claim, right? So his client asked him to sue someone. He did, and then he just told the client, there's no money. That's exactly what Avenatti is being charged with right now.
Oh.
What do you think's going to happen to California?
Well, I don't think we can put California in jail.
No, but we could put Brown in jail.
We could.
We could put his...
And whoever made the decision to not spend the money on what it was supposed to be spent on.
You got it, right? And Brown and his director of finance, or whatever the hell that guy's called, both went, yeah, no, this is totally fine.
State treasurer?
No. Though, maybe along with him. But no, there's a gubernatorial authority that did this, right?
Okay.
And so, presumably, they could go to jail. Think that's going to happen?
No.
And there it is. Right? Even though there is no debate, this is exactly what Avenatti is being charged with right now.
Right.
And don't get me wrong, they're both scumbags and should suffer appropriately. Just one will, one won't.
Yes.
Right? And so, I mean, look, if this were any other circumstance, right? If Brown was just a lawyer and he did this, he got a settlement and then paid his credit card with it, then we'd put him in jail.
Right.
I mean, presuming there wasn't something else going on there, right? Like, so, well, we put it on the credit card so that we can give it to you, right? If that was the thing, then yeah, fine. But that's not what happened here.
No, it's not what happened here. But, I mean, honestly, it's like a whole new level of theft.
And there it is.
It is. It's like, I'm going to do something in your name and then just, take the rewards and spend on what I want.
Exactly. And we know this when it's Avenatti, but we don't for some reason with California.
Because it's California. California knows better than you do.
Well, that's true.
California's running your life for you. It needs the money to run your life for you.
Exactly. And look, that is their opinion. And they are, again, just out for your money. They will even go so far as to sue somebody else to get money that presumably should be yours and then take it.
Right. You didn't need that anyway.
Right? Well, think of all the other good things we could do if you didn't have that money. Which, by the way, is the justification for every single tax.
I mean, this is how we need to justify being able to put out more bonds for the homeless.
Exactly.
So this is going to a housing problem.
Exactly. Just not yours.
Just not yours.
I realize that you were the supposed victim in this circumstance, and that presumably restitution of some kind should be paid to you, but hell with you. There's a guy pooping in the middle of the street in the middle of San Francisco, and he needs this money more.
Right. Because he needs it more.
Exactly.
So we're going to give it to him, not you. Even though you're the one that got it in the butt to begin with.
Exactly. Dad, who cares that you got screwed? Think of the guy pooping on the sidewalk in San Francisco.
He's got it worse than you, so he needs the money more than you. We're going to give it to him instead.
And this, by the way, is exactly what goes on here every single day. This isn't the first time California's been caught for this sort of thing. It has happened with the housing fires situation, right? They got the same problem, the same suit when Northern California lit on fire and they confiscated a bunch of money from the loggers up there, right? And they said, oh yeah, we're going to use this to rebuild homes. And then they never did.
Right.
This is a pattern of behavior for, to be fair, Jerry Brown.
We're going to find a reason to take money and then just spend on whatever we want.
You got it, right? And it happens over and over and over again. And by the way, this is a small group of people, all things considered. It's not going to be a whole California-wide issue, so they're never going to get heard except in court. And by the way, we're sort of at a California is going, well, the court has issued their ruling, let's see them enforce it moment.
Yeah?
I mean,
what can they do? Just appeal it to go to SCOTUS, and when it's a federal judge, wouldn't that mean the federal government would enforce it?
well, maybe, right? So you would get into federal enforcement powers at that point, but that would just require getting to the Ninth Circuit.
Right.
So, well, the first federal judge, presumably.
Right.
And so, maybe, but what are they going to do? Are we saying the feds are going to come down into the coffers of California and go, give me your money?
Could they?
Maybe. Presumably so, right? I mean, they have a lot of control over banks, so they could just freeze the assets of California, and oh my god, that would be hilarious.
Right. I'm saying there technically should be options here.
Sure.
I mean, California should not be considered immune from repercussions for being naughty.
Well, what do you think will happen the moment any of that tries to happen?
Oh, we're the victims. The government's screwing us. This is all retaliation for us having a resistance for Trump. I already see that coming.
Orange man bad. Let me keep stealing my citizens' money.
Right. Because the only thing you can expect from California is that they're going to keep taking your money and giving it to other people.